Hi, I'm Charlie Love and welcome to this Chrome Enterprise tutorial with apps, events and Acer. This is the first in a series of videos I'm going to make showing you how you can use GAM to create and manage Google Classroom at scale. Today I'll show how GAM can be used to create Google Classroom courses from the command line, and then how to extend this using GAM bulk commands to create multiple courses with just one command. You can discover how to install GAM in the Google Cloud Console in one of my earlier videos, and there's also some tips and hints about how to use GAM in some of those videos too. You can use GAM to create all your Google Classroom courses from data you already hold. For example, details of teachers and students in a school information system. I've got a list of courses and teachers. GAM is a command line interface which uses Google APIs to carry out administrative tasks across your domain from the command line. This is the command we're going to use today to create a course. So with this, what you can see, it's laid out. So you've got GAM create course, which is the key instruction. You can set an alias for your class. You can set the name of it. You can set a section for it, a heading, a description, a room that can be associated with that particular course. Very importantly, the teacher. This is the teacher who's the owner of the class. And then you can set up the status of that class. So in terms of status, I'll just show you what that possibly could be. So when we look at status, there are 4 statuses that you can use: active, archived, provisioned, and declined. Suspended is also one, but you won't have access to that one. That's really if you breach the terms and conditions, your kind of terms of service around Google and using Workspace. That's when you're in the hot water, and that course could be suspended because you've breached that terms of service. But you would use typically active, meaning the course is active and it's in use. Archived means that you could only edit that course to take it out of that archive status. Provisioned means that it's available, and we're going to use provisioned in one of our examples today. Provisioned means it's available to the teacher who owns it and to admins. It's not live. Students who are allocated to the roster won't see it, but it's provisioned and ready to use. And declined means it's been created, but it was declined. Means it's accessible by the course owner domain administrators, but it won't be displayed in the web UI. You cannot modify the course except to change it to the provisioned state. A course may only be changed to declined if it is in the provisioned state. So it's like a kind of ghost mode for that class in terms of being set up. Okay, so if we think again about the command for today, we're going to create a course with this information here. I'm going to switch across now to the Cloud Console and have a look at that. So this is my Cloud Shell inside that I launched from my Cloud Console. As I mentioned before, you can see how to set this up in the previous video. So what I've got here, I've got the Cloud Shell editor at the top part, and I've got my command line underneath. So what I'm going to do is just enter this particular command for today. This is the command that I showed you on the previous slide. So what I'm going to do is say GAM create a course with this particular alias, give it that particular name, and so on. So I've entered that information, and you notice I've made this provision because I don't want this course to be visible to students yet, just to the teacher who owns it and to admins. So that command's worked very straightforwardly. Now I can scale this up to create multiple classes. So let's go back and have a little look at my CSV file for those classes. So this is my CSV file that I'm going to use to create all of these classes. I've got the aliases, the class name, the section, the class title, room, and the teacher email. This is the teacher who's going to own it. And so I'm going to use this information. I'm going to download it as a CSV and upload it into my Cloud Shell. So I'm just going to switch across now to the Cloud Shell. So I can show you that file that I've uploaded here. I've called it courses.csv, and when I open it up, I've got the comma separated values shown here, which is the data to create my classrooms. And I'm going to just go ahead and write the command to create those classrooms. Now this is going to use the bulk options within GAM, and if we have a closer look at those, so GAM has some bulk create options, or bulk operations rather, that you can use. Here what I've got is just showing the command. If you stick GAM CSV and then a CSV file name in front of a regular GAM command, then you can use that command multiple times. For every row of data you've got in the CSV file, that GAM command will be executed. So in this case, for every row of data on my CSV file, I'm going to get a classroom course created. So that's what I'm going to get, which is fantastic. So I'll be able to run this particular command and create all of those classrooms. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to enter the command to do the bulk creation of all the courses. So I'm going to start with GAM CSV. The name of my file is courses.csv. And then I'm going to say the regular GAM command that I'm going to use is GAM create course alias, and then I'm going to use the title and the field names from my file. So my field names are alias, class name, section, class title, room, and teacher email, and they're from the headings in my CSV file. So now I'll do alias, and then I'll do name, class name, section, heading, class title. I don't need heading to have the title because it's not a field. Heading, class title, room, my room, and teacher email. And then I'm going to finish up with my status, and again, because I don't want students to see this right now, I'm going to say it's provisioned. So now I should get all of my classrooms created. It should create a total of 19 classrooms. So let's execute the command and see what happens. So my courses are being created. This is exactly as I've requested, and that's it. So that's how you can use GAM to bulk create Google Classroom courses. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Charlie Love, and this has been a Chrome Enterprise tutorial with Apps, Events, and Acer.